You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Thursday, June the 11th, 2020. The Twins and Orioles played each other 5-3, the final score of this game. The Orioles scored first. They got two in the first inning. The Twins responded with a 3-run second inning, and they took the lead. The Orioles tied the game in the fifth inning, and it stayed that way up until the ninth when the Twins put up 2 runs, and Tyler Duffy closed the door in the bottom of the ninth inning. He earned the save and closed out the win for the Twins. Fernando Romero got the win, and Paul Fry got the loss. The Royals and Yankees played each other. 3-2 is the final score of this game, and no team scored more than 1 run in any inning. The Royals scored first. The Yankees tied the game in the fifth. The Royals scored in the sixth. The Yankees tied the game in the seventh. And then the Yankees ended up walking it off in the bottom of the ninth inning. Each team got 7 hits in this game, but the Yankees scored 1 more run than the Royals did to win it. Tommy Kahnle got the win, and Heath Fillmyer got the loss. AL East baseball between the Red Sox and the Rays, and the Red Sox won a game in this series, 6-1 the final score. The Red Sox got 2 in the second, 2 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth. The Rays could only muster 1 run, which was scored in the 8th inning. And the Rays got 8 team hits, but scored just 1 run. The Red Sox got 6 runs on 7 hits and committed 3 errors as a team. They still came out with a 5-run win. Marcus Walden got the win, and Ryan Yarbrough got the loss. The Athletics and Tigers played each other. 3-1 the final score of this game, and quite uniquely, the only runs that were scored in the game were in the first inning. And that was it. The first inning runs tallied the final score. Frankie Montas got the win, Jordan Zimmerman got the loss, and Liam Hendricks earned his 25th save of the year. AL Central baseball between the Indians and the White Sox, and the White Sox came out with a monstrous win. 8-1 the final score. The White Sox scored 3 in the first inning. They kept the lead after that because the Indians were only able to score 1 run, and it was in the 5th inning. Michael Kopech got the win, and Zach Plesac got the loss. The Mariners and Blue Jays played each other. 3-1 the final score of this game. It was close, but the Blue Jays scored early, which helped them out. They also tacked on a run in the 6th inning. That was their 3rd and final run they scored in this game. The Mariners could only score in the 7th inning, and despite getting 7 team hits, they scored just 1 run. The Blue Jays got 3 runs on 6 hits. Ryan Barucki got the win, Eric Swanson got the loss, and Ken Giles earned his 19th save of the year. AL West baseball in a battle of Texas. The Astros and Rangers played each other. It was a one-run game to finalize this one, 7-6 the final score. The Rangers got a run in the first inning and a run in the third, but then the Astros turned on their offense. They had a 5-run 4th inning. They put up a run in the 6th and a run in the 7th inning, and they needed both those runs because the Rangers put up 3 in the 7th and a run in the 9th inning. They fell short just a run, so that insurance was well warranted. Jose Urquidy got the win. Kyle Gibson got the loss, and Joe Smith earned his 2nd save of the year. NL East baseball between the Nationals and the Braves was played. 6-5 the final score. The Braves got 6 runs on 12 hits. The Nationals 5 runs on 6 hits. Grant Dayton got the win. Will Harris got the loss. Will Smith earned his 22nd save of the season. The Dodgers and Reds played each other, and the Dodgers came out with a monstrous win. 18-9 the final score. The Dodgers 18 runs on 18 hits. The Reds 9 runs on 16 hits. Man, you see there in the first 3 innings, there was just offense galore. The Dodgers had the lead after 3 innings, but it was 9-6 at that point. The Dodgers kept scoring. The Reds put up 3 in the 8th, and the Dodgers got 4 in the 9th inning. Quite a game for offense. Jimmy Nelson got the win, and Luis Castillo got the loss. The Pirates and Giants played each other. 12-3 the final score of this game. The Pirates won it, and the Giants' losing streak continues. The Pirates got 2 in the first, 2 in the second. The Giants put up a run in the third, but then the Pirates scored a run in the 5th. They put up 5 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th, and they ran away with this game. Trevor Williams got the win, and Kevin Gausman got the loss. The Diamondbacks and Rockies played each other. 6-5 the final score of this game. It was close, and the Diamondbacks were trailing by 2 going into the 9th inning, but they put up 3 on Wade Davis, who got a blown save in this game, and the Diamondbacks ended up winning. Hector Rondon ended up getting the win in this one. Wade Davis got the loss, and Archie Bradley went from not appearing at all to earning his 14th save in this one because of the team's comeback, the offense's comeback in the top of the 9th inning. And the Padres and Brewers played each other. This was a runaway game, 13-1 the final score. The Padres ended up winning. They got 6 runs in the 3rd inning. They didn't give up the lead after that point, mainly because the Brewers only scored 1 run, which was in the 5th inning, and that was it. The Brewers lost by 12. Joey Lucchesi got the win, and Brett Anderson got the loss. Looking at standings now, starting in the American League East, the New York Yankees still the only team in this division with over 40 wins. They're 42-27. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and they've won 7 of their last 10 games. The Blue Jays are getting close to 40 wins. They got their 39th today. They're 39-30 now, 3 games back. They're also on a 5-game winning streak, and they've won 9 of their last 10 games. The Rays have lost 7 of their last 10 games. They lost today to the Red Sox. They're 33-37, 9.5 games back. The Red Sox still remain a game back of the Rays for 3rd place. They're 32-38, 10.5 games back of the Yankees for the division lead. But they beat the Rays today. And the Orioles are on a 6-game losing streak. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games, and they're 11.5 games back of the Yankees. They're down in last place. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins beat the Orioles today, and not only did the Twins sweep the Orioles in a 3-game series, but the Twins earned their 50th win of the season, and they're the first team this year to reach 50 wins. And they topped this division, which makes sense because they have the best record in baseball. They've won 6 games in a row, and 9 of their last 10. The White Sox, who had been struggling, won a game today. They're 41-28 now. They're 8.5 games back of the Twins for first place. The Indians are 38-31, 11.5 games back. The Tigers are 27-41. They're 22 games back. They lost to the Athletics today. And the Royals are on a 3-game losing streak. They lost to the Yankees most recently. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games. They're 21-48. 28.5 games back of the Twins for first place. And they're still in last place in the AL Central. In the AL West, the Oakland Athletics continue to lead. They're 43-26. They beat the Tigers today. The Astros are 40-28. They're 2.5 games back of the A's. The Angels are 30-37, 12 games back. They're on a 5-game losing streak. The Rangers are 28-41, 15 games back. And the Mariners are 24-46, 19.5 games back. They're in the middle of a 6-game losing streak, and they've lost 9 of their last 10 games. Wildcard standings look like this. The White Sox have the top spot. They're 41-28. A half game behind the White Sox are the Astros, who have the second wildcard spot. They're 40-28. The Blue Jays are 39-30. They're 1.5 games back. The Indians no longer tied with the Blue Jays. The Indians are 38-31, 2.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. And every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 8 games back of the Astros for that second wildcard spot. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals are 40-28. They lead the division still. The Marlins keeping pace. The Marlins are on a 7-game winning streak, and because the Nationals lost today, the Marlins are now just a game back of the Nats for the NL East lead. The Braves are 36-33. They're 4.5 games back. They beat the Nationals today. The Phillies are 33-34, 6.5 games back. They're on an 8-game losing streak. And the Mets are 28-40. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games, and they're 12 games back of the Nationals for first place. In the National League Central, the Cardinals remain the only team in this division with a winning percentage over 500. They're 37-32, still at the top of this division. The Cubs are 34-36, 3.5 games back. They've won 3 in a row. They're on an upswing now. The Brewers have lost 2 straight. They're 31-37, 5.5 games back. The Reds are 29-40. They're 8 games back. They're on a 3-game losing streak. The Pirates, quite the opposite. They're 27-41. They've won 3 games in a row now. They're still in last place, though, 9.5 games back of the Cardinals for first place. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 2 wins away from 50. They've won 5 games in a row, 8 of their last 10. They're 48-20, still at the top of this division. The Padres have won 2 games in a row. They're 39-31. They're 10 games back of the Dodgers for first place. And keep in mind, the Padres were leading the NL West at the end of April, and for the majority of May they were leading, but the Dodgers, they just had some recent success that pushed them above the Padres and beyond. And with the Padres' cold streak, the Diamondbacks have caught up a bit. They're 36-32, 12 games back of the Dodgers, but 2 games back of the Padres for second place. The Rockies are 29-39. They're 19 games back. They've been toward the bottom of this division for most of the year. And the Giants are the reigning last-place team right now in the NL West. They're 26-42. They've been at the bottom for a while. They're 22 games back. They've lost 5 in a row, most recently to the Pirates. They've lost 7 of their last 10. Again, still at the bottom of this division. In the National League wildcard standings, the Marlins have the lead. They're 39-29. 29. The Padres are 39 and 31. So these are the top two wildcard teams, the two teams that would make playoffs if the season ended today. You have the Diamondbacks that are 36 and 32. They're 2 games back of the Padres for that second wildcard spot. The Braves are 36 and 33. They're 2.5 games back of the Padres. And every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 4.5 games back, though some teams are closer and more realistic to getting a spot than others right now. Looking at league leaders now, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera at the top with a 379 batting average. Carlos Santana second best with a 357, and Miguel Andujar third best with a 350. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt at the top with a 368. Jonathan Villar second best with a 356. And David Dahl third best with a 352. Hits leaders in the American League. Miguel Andujar, the first one to 100 among American League players. Miguel Cabrera, one behind him with 99. And DJ LeMahieu, third best with 95. In the National League, Jonathan Villar's at 103. Paul Goldschmidt, second best with 92. And Ronald Acuna Jr., third best with 88. Bat leaders in the American League. Miguel Andujar at the top with 286. In the National League, Jonathan Villar at the top with 289. Doubles leaders in the American League. Anthony Rendon has 25. Jose Abreu's at 24. Miguel Andujar third best with 23. In the National League, Jonathan Villar's at the top with 33 doubles. Christian Yelich second best with 25. Nicholas Castellanos, Ketel Marte, and Javier Baez all tied for third best with 20. Triples leaders in the American League. Jose Altuve has 6 triples. Whit Merrifield, Stephen Piscotty, and Adalberto Mondesi all tied for second best with 4. In the National League, Jonathan Villar's up to 8 triples. Hunter Pence, Chris Bryant, and Victor Robles all tied for second best with 5. Home run leaders in the American League. Justin Upton has 24 home runs. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. second best with 23. Josh Donaldson and Chris Davis tied for third best with 22. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. is up to 27. Paul Goldschmidt 5 behind him with 22. Max Muncy third best with 18. RBI leaders in the American League. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has 69. Chris Davis is at 60 runs batted in, and Josh Donaldson third best with 57. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt's at 59, one short of 60. Christian Yelich and Cody Bellinger tied for second best with 53. Runs scored leaders in the American League. JD Martinez is at the top with 54 runs scored. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has scored 62 runs on the year. Stolen base leaders in the AL. Adalberto Mondesi's at 14. D. Gordon and Malik Smith, both Seattle Mariner teammates, are each at 13, tied for second best. In the National League, Starling Marte has 27. He's trailed by Trey Turner, who has 24, 3 behind him, and Jonathan Villar third best with 19. Walks leaders in the American League. Shin-Soo Choo's at the top with 45. In the National League, Rhys Hoskins is at the top of the NL with 48. On base percentage leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera is at a 447 on base percentage. Carlos Santana at a 434, and Michael Brantley with a 429. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt's at a 467, Ronald Acuna Jr. is at a 429, and Dansby Swanson's at a 424. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League. Josh Donaldson's at a 648, Chris Davis is at a 639, and Justin Upton third best with a 628. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has a 752, Paul Goldschmidt's at a 716, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a 671. On base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League. Josh Donaldson's at the top with a 1.060. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt's at a 1.183. Wins leaders in the American League. This is pitching statistics. Kenta Maeda has 9 wins on the mound. Hyunjin Ryu and Jake Odorizzi are tied for second best with 8. In the National League, Walker Buehler still at the top with 11 wins. Jimmy Nelson second best with 8. David Price and Madison Bumgarner are tied for third best with 7. Losses leaders in the American League. There are 2 pitchers that don't have a loss yet, Mike Minor and Kenta Maeda, each with 0 losses. In the National League, Walker Buehler and Carlos Martinez are at the top with the least amount of losses. They've lost 1 game this year. Saves leaders in the American League. Brad Hand and Liam Hendricks are at the top with 25. Roberto Ozuna rounds out the top 3 with 22. In the National League, Giovanni Gallegos has 26. Sean Doolittle and Kenley Jansen tied for second best with 24. ERA leaders in the American League. Kenta Maeda has a 2.23 ERA. Mike Minor's at a 2.32, and Jake Odorizzi's at a 2.51. In the National League, Walker Buehler has an ERA under 2. He's at a 1.69. Mike Soroka second best with a 2.25, and Carlos Martinez third best with a 2.45. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers. Mike Minor has allowed the least. He has 5 home runs allowed on the year. In the National League, Garrett Richards has 4 home runs allowed on the year. Shutout leaders in the American League: Garrett Cole and Masahiro Tanaka at the top with 3 shutouts. Jake Odorizzi, third best with 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has 3 shutouts on the year. Zach Wheeler and Merrill Kelly and Walker Buehler all tied for second best with 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League: Garrett Cole has 121, Lucas Giolito at 106, Jake Odorizzi third best with 102. In the National League, Clayton Kershaw has 114, Steven Strasburg one behind him with 113, and Max Scherzer third best with 103. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers: Garrett Cole and Masahiro Tanaka still at the top with 3 complete games thrown this year, and all 3 of those complete games for them were shutouts. Jake Odorizzi's third best on this list, as is Aaron Savali. They each have 2 shutouts on the year. In the National League, Jacob deGrom and Zach Wheeler are each at 3 complete games thrown. Aaron Nola, Merrill Kelly, and Walker Buehler tied for third best with 2. Innings pitched leaders in the American League: Hyunjin Ryu has 95 innings thrown. In the National League, Clayton Kershaw has 98 1/3 innings thrown. Walks allowed among American League pitchers: Carlos Carrasco is at 12. He's at the top of this list with the least amount of walks allowed. In the National League, Brett Anderson let up a walk, but he's still at the top of this list with 17. He let up a walk today to the Padres, but only went 2 2/3 innings today and got the losing decision in the Brewers' 13-1 loss. Whip leaders in the American League: Masahiro Tanaka is at a .96, Jake Odorizzi is at a .98, and Kenta Maeda is at a 1.04. In the National League, Clayton Kershaw has a 101, as does Mike Soroka. Aaron Nola rounds out the top 3 with a 104. Pitching WAR leaders in the American League: Jake Odorizzi is a 2.4, as does Garrett Cole. Shane Bieber and Corey Kluber each have a 2.2. They make up the top 4 on this list. In the National League, Clayton Kershaw is a 2.4, Steven Strasburg at a 2.3, as is Jacob deGrom, Yu Darvish, and Walker Buehler. They make up the top 5 on this list. Batting WAR leaders in the American League: Marcus Semion's at a 4.6, DJ LeMahieu and Matt Chapman are at a 4.1. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr., 5.5, Christian Yelich is at a 4.6, and Paul Goldschmidt rounds out the top 3 with a 4.4. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Thursday, June the 11th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.